Hey everybody, this is Grace. We're on the way to get something to eat for us. Adam had, I guess it was oral surgery, what would we call it that? Yeah, yesterday. And I'm going to get something mild. Well, I'm going to get what he wanted. So, I don't know how mild it is, but anyway, I want to talk about, I was just reminded as I was leaving. Earlier, I made a video about when people get, some kind of pleasure from somebody else's misfortune. I've always heard it pronounced, ever since many years ago, as Schadenfreude. And I did a whole video about, the people who get online and they're beggars, they're e-beggars, but they don't bill themselves as e-beggars. They got this problem, and they don't have enough money for food, and and they whine and cry until their audience sends them money. And some of them will say that they're Christians, even take out their Bible and read and all this kind of stuff, when what they're doing is manipulation. I do videos. I've done videos for 10 years now, over 10 years, about narcissism and all those personality disorders, cluster B personality disorders, and so it was along this line that I did the videos. Plus, the people, what I know about Christianity. I'm not a perfect person, and I don't know all of there is to know about it, but I know that what they're doing is not Christian. So you don't take from the needy when you're Christian. Some of them, on and on. Okay, but then as I was leaving, there is this guy in our neighborhood. I don't know if it's just one guy or if it's they live in a big house. We don't know them. They have parties. He or they have seen one guy. Okay, and we don't know what he does, but he has a big bubble truck. New. It's got the mirrors that, the side view mirrors that stick out real far. And it's a big, I don't want to say what I think it is, but the ones that got the king cab and all that. And he also has like a trailer. It makes me think that maybe he's part of a band or something. And he does have parties, and he plays a lot of music really loud, and whenever he does. But, I've also wondered if maybe he's in the rodeo. You never know. But I'm thinking band. Okay. And, he will park that big, the trailer. I don't think he called it a trailer. What do you call it? In the back of it, it's closed in. It's not a trailer. What do you call those? Whatever. But he owns his own, and he'll leave that on the road. Now these are roads in the neighborhood. They're supposed to go both directions because everybody has their parking spot. They have not parking spots, but they have their driveways. And the people who have it in the back, they have an alley, and then they have their garages and their parking. Their driveway. So nobody should be parking on the street. But they do. And people park on the street. That makes the road narrow down to one lane. Just one lane. People coming and going. No, they don't have separate lanes to come and go. It's just one lane total. Okay, so that makes that bad. And then there's this guy's going to have this big Bubba truck with the extended side view mirrors, and half the time he doesn't remember to pull them in. And that big, whatever it is, I don't know what you call it, but he has that, and that's big too. That's big. That's as wide as the truck, and he's going to have that on the road. in front of his house. Well, guess what? When that narrows down, and the people that live on the other side of him, all of them drive the same thing. A big black SUVs. Imagine what it's like to live behind them. They're behind that point in the road. And that's the exit out of there. And so they have to go through this very narrow, very, very narrow way to get in either direction. Because they've narrowed it down to just one lane. And then if somebody's coming in, you have to wait for them coming from the other direction. And then they're going to have this stuff? Really? Love your neighbor, man. That's how you love your neighbor. That's how you show, okay, you're a friendly person. No, it's all about them. Nope, it's all about them. No, it's legal, but it's not. And that's what I'm finding out. Well, actually, Adam, he told me. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. But, and I have said this before myself, and I told him, so maybe you never know. But I see a sign, breakfast starts at ends. Anyway, a sign here. But if an emergency vehicle, like, well, where I live, they used to do this. I don't know if they still do. But say you call for an ambulance. And they come out, but so does fire truck. They I don't know why, but I know when my mother was staying with me one time, I had to call emergency because I don't remember what it was at the time. She had dementia, and they had to come pick her up. It was a whole big ordeal, and so if they wouldn't have been able to get through there, what did they do? And from what I understand, and I could be wrong, that's illegal. If they have the road to where emergency vehicles can't get through. Is it illegal? Or is it they will be fined? Or what, anything? But I don't know. It was during the time when I was experiencing, after my heart failure in March, and when I was diagnosed with heart failure in March, the hospital ER, I had a lot of foggy brain. I still have some, but no, not really. Not as much. Oh, it was pretty bad back then. But I think what Adam told me was that they said that whomever he asked said that that we would have to, I think it was something like contact the police and have the police go and tell them that they cannot park that way. Something like that. See, if I had foggy brain. So, don't trust what I say. But anyway, what I saw right yesterday, I was coming home. I was on my way home, and I passed by that. I saw the truck and the whatever trailer building. I know it's talk about foggy brain. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, I saw that on one side, and then I saw, I had to slow down because they're going to park right there and make it even worse. Narrowing it down to one lane, even real tight lane. And I have an SUV too. And on the other side of the road, was that person's black SUV. There's 3 of them that park right there. And Adam and I have gone through there so many times in this, and Adam told me that anytime he passes through there, he honks. He makes sure he stops and honks and honks and honks. And nobody ever comes out. Well, I've done it too. So anytime you do it, make sure you honk. Okay, yeah, these are the kinds of things that bugs Adam. I should say too, but and I mean, I'm sure we're not the only people. I mean, no, there are people that live beyond there and then to the other side of it, and they drive big vehicles because this is ridiculous. Well, when I was driving home yesterday and I passed through that, well, why is this lane going so slow? It's 12:53. Y'all not ready for lunch? I mean, it's one truck one vehicle has moved all this time. But anyway, might as well just have a sit down. But anyway, so I'm going through there and I see the truck, you know, I have to slow down and I look to this. I'm like, what is that? The back tire on that SUV is bent in. And I'm like, what the crap? Do they know they're driving on, you know, is that tire loose? And as I got up to it, I could see that somebody had taken off, you know, had hit it and had taken off whatever was there. I don't know what would be there. You know, on that back tire, took off the top part. You could see like where screws were or whatever was holding whatever on. You know, it's not the hubcap, but like above the hubcap. You see, you know, that little guard or something. But that tire was pushed in at the top, and I'm thinking somebody hit it. Somebody, you know, had a high enough, on theirs was high enough to just, they hit it, whether accident or whatever. But when I left this morning, I didn't remember until I got to the next road up and saw that truck and the trailer or whatever thing on the back of it on another road, a wide road. Okay? People start thinking about other people. And did they start thinking, or did the neighbor call the police? The one that's tire got hit. You see what I'm saying? So this is ridiculous. I can't park in front of my house because I got this big truck in the trailer and the side view mirrors extended and all that. You know, or did the person who hit it call? Okay. Anyway, where was I? It was trouble ordering. So, but anyway, yeah, you know, people need to start thinking. If you hear somebody every time people go by, they honk. Think, why would they do that? It's not because you're popular. No, really. I have a weird sense of humor. Plain and simple. No. People are saying something. And use your brain and think, what were they saying? What are they saying? Now, I have no idea what really happened. I wasn't there. I don't know. But it was probably, you know, because a lot of people live behind that, you know, behind that, on the road behind it, and probably couldn't get through either. And lots of people are back there. And, you know, there are a lot of elderly people, because the neighborhood was during the time when they had the yuppies that turned to muppies, and now they're, what are you going to call them when they're retired? I don't think you're going to call them ruppies. Weird sense of humor, I'm sorry. But yeah, there are a lot of older people back there. So they were, I think, the original, mainly, people. So, you know, gotta think. You gotta think beyond your own nose. You gotta see beyond your own nose. You have to think beyond your own needs. That's how I see it. That's my view. Anyway, I'm wrapping it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.